Welcome back. Today we'll be focusing on four letters, which are x, and N. So R, M, X, and N. They are what we call clockwise letters, as in they move forwards like a clock. All right, our first one is R. So when we think about our capital letter R, he comes up to that starting point just like all capital letters do. He comes down straight, and then we go back up the same line, around, and we come down there, and then he comes out at a point. So he's got a straight line, a circle body, which sits like that, and then he has a line that comes down at the side. Straight line, body, down. All right, do a row of those. All right, and our lowercase r, like most lowercase letters, sits down here in this bottom line. I think lowercase r's are quite tricky to do because if you spread them apart too wide up here, they end up looking like a V. So you have to be really careful. So he has a little flick. And he comes down, and he come back up that same line, and he goes out a little bit and has a tiny little flick. So I said, I find R's quite tricky to do, but maybe you don't. Maybe you can teach me a better way to do them. But that's where they sit. They sit on the baseline, and they do not come above the first dotted third. All right, M. I feel like I'm pretty good at letter M's because I have a lot of them in my name. All right, so a capital M, like all capitals, start up here. Well, he goes up there because he actually starts down here. So he comes up to that line, and then we come back down to the baseline. Then we go back up to the top dotted third, and then back down for our last line. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points of start, start and turn around. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up, down, up, down. So all nice straight lines. Now a lowercase m, like most lowercase letters, again, only comes into this space here. And he has a flick at the side, and then he comes down, up, around, back up that same line, and down again. So again, like our uppercase M, he actually has 1, 2, 3, 4. He has 5 points as well. I know there's 6 dots there, but I did not too many. All right, let's do another one. So he comes to the side, down, back up, down, back up, and around. You might be wondering, why are the flicks important? Because when you get into older grades, they help when we start joining our letters together. It's not something we need to worry about right now, but that's why they're there, in case you were wondering. All right, X. X marks the spot. Here's a nice, easy letter to do. He has 1, 2. 2 straight lines that cross over, so they're on a nice diagonal. But again, not coming above or beyond these the 2 dotted thirds. He does not go into that second line. Can you see how we haven't done any tail letters, so we don't have any that are going down that far? So let's do another X. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Now, a lowercase x is like 2 C's, I reckon. So I start 1 here, and I come around, then I start another one at the same spot and come around again. So if I got rid of that one, don't you reckon it just looks like a C? So then this one is like a backwards C, and they're touching. X, X. All right. We have one more letter, and that is N. I think I will use, what about pink? I'll use pink, yeah. All right, N. So N starts like M. He actually starts down the bottom here. And he comes up, then he comes back down, then he comes back up. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4. Whereas an M would come back down again, but N stops there. So he comes straight up, down at an angle, and then straight up. So straight line, down on an angle, straight up. And again, not going into that top dotted third, so not doing it really big like this, because that's not what the dotted thirds are for. Now, a lowercase m is again quite similar to a lowercase m. And like most of our lowercase letters, he only sits in that bottom line, bottom dotted third. So he starts just like an M, down, straight, back up that same line, and down. He's got his little flick, down, back down. So I'm going to put a red dot where we start. We start here, and then we go back, we go down the same, back up the same line, and curve back around. So you start here, little flick, nice straight line, then we come back up the same line and down. Up, curve, down, around the same line, and a curve with a flick at the end. And again, why are the flicks important? Oh no, we've turned around. Why are the flicks important? Because, why? Can you answer? Oh, I don't know what's happening to my screen. Doesn't matter, you don't need it anymore. Because they give us the ability to join our letters later on. All right, listen to the rest of the video to find out what you need to do. Oh my gosh, you finished listening to me. I talked for just as long as I did on Monday. I'm sorry, I just have so much to say. Okay, so once you've done all of that, have a go at the sentence that I have linked down below. Bye, enjoy.